Hey, so I just wanted to talk about my experience at mental health wards as someone who has now been in 4 separate mental health hospitals for various extended periods of time. I feel the need to talk about what happened to me and my general experience here. I'm also eating some dinner, so uh, I'm not gonna really delve into the kinds of bad things that happened here. Um, Most of the bad things that happen at the mental health clinics are a result of the people working here. They can be extremely brutal and dehumanizing. But we won't go into too much detail about that. That's definitely for another video, trust me. But we can talk about the good things. So one of the good things about being here is the people. The other patients. I have not been in a mental ward yet where I did not make a friend. I'm not kidding. I mean, most of them I stay in very close contact with, and they are very good friends of mine to this day. How? Because I mean, that's the kind of person that ends up in a mental health ward. I mean, I am a smart and interesting person. I am a seer and a knower. And it turns out that there are also seers and knowers in other mental health wards. So, it's kind of beautiful in a way that we sort of find each other. And other things. I mean, that's pretty much summarizes what it means to be in a mental health ward. Is not exactly bipolar, because we know bipolar doesn't actually exist, and schizophrenia definitely doesn't exist. I mean, there are people with erratic behavior. I would agree. But the more I get to know things about people with mental illness, the more I realize is that, like, these people are tapped into a sort of, like, energy that normal people aren't. They're not sick at all, actually. They're actually just kind of, like, in tune with the sort of, like, earthly song, if you will. That there's sort of like this melody playing, and that only some people can hear. And that's actually a Nietzsche quote. But they are understanding this sort of understanding of the world. Like they like the world is shimmering, swirling, moving like a river, and they're sort of coasting along it, and it's they're spinning out is what's happening, and there's actually the German word for going crazy is spinnen, like actually to spin. Spinnen, die spinnt, she is spinning, der spinnt, he is spinning. He's going crazy, she's going crazy. So, I mean, and that's no coincidence. I mean, all these things are connected. And the one thing, like number one way that they say that someone is suffering from psychosis is if they say they have they're like thought associating, where they're like, they have one thought and it jumps to the next thought, and then the next thought jumps to the next thought, and the next thought, and there's kind of like these very loosely related concepts, but yet they do seem to follow a pattern. And then for smart ones, some will just get off track, but some will actually begin to tell a story and will actually eventually come full circle. And I mean, then that's how you know that you've met someone who's genius. I mean, not just smart and tapped in, but genius, because they probably recognized to some degree that they're crazy, so to speak, and they are now literally virtually spinning and coming back to the point that they meant to come back to. So, I mean, and I'm doing it right now. I mean, if you're following this video at all, that's props to you, because I mean, that's what I do. I'm a spinner. I'm a spinstress, as they like to call me in the olden days. Not a witch, a spinstress. Although I could be a witch, and I would not take offense to that. Other things. It is extremely important to realize that, I mean, okay, so a lot of these people, they freak out. They're freaking out. Why? Why are they freaking out? They tell you, they're like, I have demons. I have demons following me. I have demons screaming through me that make me scream, and they're real, these demons. Why would they lie? Of course there are demons. There really are demons. How could you cannot prove that there are not demons persecuting these individuals? You cannot prove that. Instead, you're because it sounds scary, and it sounds like it can't be. It's only happening to this one individual. Suddenly, it's insanity instead of reality. But it very well could be reality. I mean, think about it. Most of these, that's the one thing about most people that come into mental institutions, is that they're extremely intelligent. Extremely intelligent. Most of them are very smart. Some of them aren't. Some of them are just users, honestly, like drug users, and they, I mean, some of them are both, drug users and they're smart, but some are just drug users, and that's a shame, but for the ones that are really like kind of like tapped into this virtual energy, I mean, there's no question that they're actually experiencing demons, and that they're actually experiencing sort of these out of body things, people. We know as a fact that there are various dimensions. We know there are multiple dimensions, and we know that there is a strong possibility of entering cerebrally, visually, auditorily wise, kind of like halfway entering these sorts of dimensions. I mean, we don't know this as a fact, but like, I mean, who's to say that's not what's happening? Is that what these people are experiencing is real? Like, there's a patient here who says he's Jesus Christ. His name's Herman. Who's to say he isn't Jesus Christ? He could have been. Reincarnation could be real. Why don't we just entertain the idea that it's at least some of the things? All right, some of these people are suffering from, PTSD, and a lot of them, I mean, especially with women, you hear one thing in particular, that women, there are extremely high levels of bipolar disorder in women who were sexually abused as children. And that especially includes incest. So, incest, abuse as children. Those women go on to develop bipolar disorder. This has been a fact since Freud. Even Freud was finding this sort of thing out. So, right, a lot of people are just experiencing unbelievable amounts of trauma and trying to process that somehow. But who's to say that what they're experiencing and what they're seeing and feeling isn't real? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I'll wrap this up here. Knowing that, why can't we just do things a little bit differently? I mean, I feel very humanized in the place I am now. I do wish they would let me outside more. But I do, it feels like an Airbnb. It's super nice, it's clean, it's pretty decent food. It's comfortable. But why don't they talk to us, and why isn't there more therapy involved? These people, they don't want the truth of this world. They'd rather just say they're crazy, the medicine will make them better, as opposed to listening. Because a lot of these people, as I said, are seers and knowers, and they have untapped something that is really unique and special. And possibly some of the secrets to our existence, because there are multiple, right? I mean, there are many. I mean, even the girl who has been in one of these 4 times, all I had ever tried to tell people, and this got me thrown in the hospital 4 fucking times, was a few things, 3 things in general. The first one was that God is a woman. All right? God is a woman. Only women can create children. Only women can create children. Therefore, only women can create life. So if the creator of all life is a person, a man or a woman, it's a woman. It's more likely that she, if she has the power of God, she can just create her own sperm. She doesn't need a man necessarily. It's a little dark, but maybe that's just how it was, and maybe that's just how it is. But it's less likely that she needed a male counterpart. Everyone says that everyone insists that a male needs to be present. Why? We live in a female hating society. That's why. We can't imagine a world where just God is a woman. It's almost unfathomable to a lot of people. Other things. I told people that there were black holes approaching us, approaching our galaxy. that would eventually demolish us. And I didn't know how to, at the time, I didn't really know how I would fix it or how we could fix it. Why did I say we have black holes? It was just a hunch. I just guessed because I knew that as I told you, that there are like interdimensional people, things, concepts that sort of alter our world. The Japanese know this. They call them the kami. So I kind of got the idea from Japan that there are interdimensional beings that sort of shift time and space. And I mean, what does that in real life? A black hole. A black hole does that. So that's why I had the idea that, I told my friend, I said, look, what do you know about black holes? Because I think that's what's doing this. And she was a radical feminist like me. And she said, Claudia, well, even if it was a black hole, people still have to take responsibility for their actions.